All right. Hello, church. Uh, Good morning or afternoon or Sunday or Monday or whatever day it is for you. It's Josh Turner out here in Washington. I'm inside today. I'm not out in the field with the big dummy. Like I said last time, he had hurt his leg a little bit. So, today he's having surgery. He broke a bone in his foot. He's prone to injury. He's an old guy. So, anyways, we're hoping this surgery goes good and he can start healing up. Okay, so on to lesson 3 of basic Christianity manners, or whatever we want to call it. So the first 2 weeks, and if you didn't see those, or I don't know when they're putting them out, they might be weeks, months, I don't know. But the first 2 in this series thing, first one was focus, second one was sit. This week is going to be, we could do a bunch of different ones for the third one, but we're going to do release word. So the release word is something that some humans do by accident. Some humans don't do it at all for their dogs, but every dog should have it. And it helps the dog immensely to know what's going on and what they're supposed to do next. And so if I was to have a dog focus on me and then sit down, how does it know when it's supposed to stand up? I just told it to sit down. It did that for me. I rewarded it, said good dog or whatever I said. Now, when does it stand up? I didn't tell him to stay, and we'll get to that in a few lessons, but I didn't give him a command to stay there. So most of the time what happens, and you'll see this with your dog, I'm sure, or other people's dogs, you put them in a sit. Everybody's kind of frozen in this moment. Owner's holding onto the leash. Dog's looking at him like, what's going on? As soon as the owner moves at all, whether that's his arm, his leg, he talks a little bit, whatever it is, the dog's primed to go, okay? Because what they've learned is movement or sound equals the release word. And you'll see this. Just like if you've got a dog who we call a gate rusher, right? This is a door rusher. This is a dog that if it opens, he's running through it. It's because we've taught the dog over time, when something opens, you should go through it. Okay, now we do this by accident, adversely, because what happens is a door opens one day and the dog runs through it, and then he goes out and has a big, good time. And we chase him, and there's all this energy and all this. Well, in his mind, that was kind of fun. Like, I know you guys are upset, but that was kind of fun, right? Why not? And what we haven't done is taught him what he's supposed to do when the door does open. Okay, so release word. Release word is exactly what it sounds like. It's the command or the word that tells you you are released from the position I put you in. So a lot of people, they choose different words. And this is for almost every command. So you can use any word you want to, as long as you're consistent. So for like sitting, some people will say park it. Some people say sit. For down, it's different things, But for a release word, you're going to have to figure out, okay, what's the word that you use the most, that you're going to want to say the most often to tell your dog he's done doing that activity. So a lot of times people will use okay or yes or whatever it is, right? But you're going to have to, as the Christian, figure this release word out between you and God. Because what the release word does is, once I've been put into a position of sit, if the human walks forward, that doesn't mean I should walk forward. I've been told to sit. So once the human walks forward and says the release word, like, okay, then I know, okay, now it's time for me to come with them. But we have to set that release word up. For the Christian, I don't know how it works for everybody. I only know how it works for me. And for me, my release, when I know that I'm released from a certain position from God, it's usually because the pressure is off. So there's no more pressure from him about, we're missing something. You should be doing something. You shouldn't be doing something. there's almost like a nagging feeling in my spirit when I know that something needs to be done, or that I'm under the command to do something, whether that's pray for somebody or help something or work on something in my own life that I know I'm struggling with, or read more, whatever my spirit's telling me to do. 99% of the time, it doesn't sound like what I would want to do. And it doesn't sound like my voice either. So I'm not sure how you as the Christians are going to figure this out. I have to make sure that I'm in communion with my spirit to be able to hear him. If I take some days off, if I go do things that I'm not supposed to do, it quiets down pretty quickly. And he's not as willing to speak. He's not as willing to show me the path. That might not be for anybody else. And I might just be crazy. Who knows, right? But you'll have to figure out what your release word is from God. When do you know you're done? When do you know that God is moving forward and now you're just sitting in the position? Pray about it, because that release word lets the dog know it's time to move forward. And for some of us, we just didn't know that God said the release word. So we're stuck in churches. We're stuck in ways of thinking. We're stuck in situations that we think we have to be in. God gave us a release word in the form of Jesus when he came and said, you don't have to wear these chains of fear anymore. All these rules that the humans have built, you don't have to wear them or listen to them or do them. But you do have to listen to your spirit. And that spirit is going to guide you through this life if you listen. And like I talked about last week, your voice, just because it's in your head, does not mean it's the spirit, right? And I'm not going to talk about what the spirit sounds like or what it doesn't. I don't know what it's going to say to you. I don't even know if it'll talk to you. I don't know how it works. But if you don't have something that talks to you in your head, or that you can know, like, okay, this is God, then give yourself a release word. You know, when have you done enough to release yourself to move forward onto doing things with God, whatever the next thing is? So, so far, we've got 3 commands that help us with our walk in Christianity. The first one being focus. Number 2 being sit. And number 3 being knowing your release word. We have to know when we're allowed to move forward or when we're done with that activity. So, find out what your release word is. Maybe that's a time frame you set for yourself. I know for my wife and I, my wife will tell me when I'm spending too much time doing something. So, let's say it's making these videos, right? For an example, if I start neglecting dinner, start neglecting our date nights, things like that, because these videos are so important to God, she's going to come about and let me know, like, hey, you need to let this go. It's time to release this, and it's now becoming a detriment. Or you've accomplished this already, right? You don't need to rehash this. You need to move forward into a new command. So what do we do for our next one? Well, once we're sitting and we have a release word, well, now we need to figure out rewards, okay? So humans, just like the dogs, we do things because we are rewarded. Now, you might not think you're getting a lot of rewards in your life, but even if those rewards are just psychosomatic, or they're just in your brain, or they're just small, right? They're just little rewards. They're not a big thing, but they are a reward to you. This is why we continue to repeat behaviors, or we stop doing certain behaviors because we were punished for them, right? So we are going to talk about rewards, both positive and negative. Now, one thing with these 2 words, positive and negative, that I want you to think about is positive does not equal good, and negative does not equal bad. Think about these like math terms. Positive means you added something to the equation. Negative means you took something away from the equation, okay? So next time, we're going to talk about rewards. positive and negative, when to use them, when not to use them, and how to recognize when maybe you're actually bribing and not rewarding. All right, church, I hope these are helping you. They help me to make them, and they help me kind of make more sense of our King and how he deals with us. So, all right, use them however